I think the biggest thing is the biggest thing that we try to impress upon them is the respect. Whether it's, you respect a police officer or really any adult, but I think at this age, there's so much, again, referencing pop culture, there's so much disrespect that I see of kids thinking they can say and do whatever they want to do. And I think in the academy they learn that it's not a bad thing to be respectful to an adult or to someone in a position of authority, that it can be cool to be respectful to an adult or to a police officer. That's not a bad thing. And what I impress upon these kids is when they're in the academy and after they've gone through the academy, I hold them accountable to a higher standard than I would another kid in school. Hey, you went through the academy, you know what it takes to be a leader, you know what it takes to do conflict resolution without losing your head. I expect you to set the example. So that's what I hope that they do, is they take that respect that we teach them in the academy and they bring it into the middle school, and they not only to respect themselves but their peers, and they teach that respect to their classmates and their friends.
They become peer leaders.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Leadership at this level is sorely needed, and there's not a lot of things other than sometimes in athletics, but at the middle school level there's not that competition, at least in our community, for kids to really exemplify that leadership. The Junior Police Academy is something that they can do. They can wear their t-shirt, they can be proud that they went through this 8-week program and that they came out as leaders, and they can transfer what they learned, whether it's anecdotal stories or whether it's just skills that they learned in the academy, and teach it to their friends and become those leaders of tomorrow.
Is there anything that there are probably junior police academies in all different countries, right? And there's some version of this in North Korea. Is there something that you invest in it that you have been able to identify as purely an American virtue or value, or you identify those things that are American values?
Absolutely. From day one, on day one we do an overview of the history of policing and how fortunate we are in this country that we have the police force, the civilian police force that we do have compared to other countries that are much more restrictive and put down people's rights. In America, our rights are celebrated, and it's up to the law enforcement officer not to necessarily take those rights away, but to protect those rights. And we stress upon the kids that the officer gets his power from the people, and they are stakeholders in the people. They at some point in their life will be able to vote and will possibly hold office or be a decision maker. And they are stakeholders even as a kid in this system that we have, and how important it is to take an active role in that and to appreciate, the police officer is not there to take rights away from you. He's there to hold you accountable, and it goes back to that respect issue. And we're fortunate that in this country, though, the rights that we have are protected by the Constitution and by police officers. That's our job, is to uphold the Constitution. People in other countries don't have that, and that's a uniquely American type of situation.
That was a great answer. I mean, how police officers can articulate that. They may feel it, but they may sense of it that they aren't able to articulate it. And usually the really old guys, some of those don't do it very well, but it's rare. Tonight, we're going to have a graduation ceremony and so forth. And when these kids look back on this 20 years from now, what kind of a citizen do you want them to be?
I hope that they are able to, that they actively participate in wherever they live, in that body of government that they live in, whether it's voting, whether it's supporting the police when they have fundraisers or national nights out, that they take an active role in being a productive member of their community. That's one of the biggest things that I try to press upon middle school kids in general, not just in the academy, but in middle school kids in general, is don't be passive, just a bystander in your community or in your life. Be an active participant. Affect change. If you're unhappy with the way things are, do something about it. Don't whine and complain. And I hope that having gone through the academy and having an appreciation for what law enforcement officers do and the hard work that it takes and the whole concept of citizenship and what it means to be a good citizen, I hope that they take that with them into adulthood and put that into practice as an adult. Whether or not they go into law enforcement as a career, some of them did that, I think that's great. But I think just having that appreciation for government and that being an active participant in it, like I said, I was blessed with many different things growing up as a kid, and that's why I chose law enforcement as a career, because I felt I could make a difference. I hope some of these kids feel the same way, that they were given certain things as in their childhood and in their formative years growing up, and will take that and make a difference in someone else's life.